I'd like to share some thoughts about Charlie's new book, Stop in the Name of God. This may be Charlie's greatest legacy. It's not the Maha movement. It's not helping get Donald Trump elected. It's not his political views, but it is his love for God's word, his work that there is truth, that it can be found, and that truth is written in the biblical text. And this book, I have to say, I really am blown away by this book, which I do believe will be Charlie's greatest legacy. In it, he talks about the revolutionary concept of a divine rhythm, of a day off, that where we remember God, where we stop, we take a rest. We don't realize it, but in our society today, we make ourselves slaves. It's a self-inflicted slavery. It's not something that the government does. It's not something that the society does. Although, society contributes to it, but it's really something that we do to ourselves because we get onto this hamster wheel. And we go, 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 go. We go to work, we work out, we take the kids to baseball practice, we take the kids to swimming, we take the kids everywhere. Every evening is filled with the places that we take kids, with helping kids with homework, or being involved in maybe civic activities, volunteer activities, but we go, 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 go. It's hard to have a nutritious meal in the evening because you can barely keep up with the laundry. You can barely keep up with your responsibilities, and then you hope that somewhere in there you can have a clean house. So we get on this hamster wheel and we just continually going and we never get off. And today it takes so much work. You would think that with all the modern conveniences, electronics, electricity, we don't have to go to the washboard and wash our clothes anymore out in the cold. We don't have to go and get coal for the heater. We have all of these things that makes our life easier, but we work harder for what we have. And that is because we do not stop in the name of God. We put it off. But I want to say something else about this book, because Charlie mentions not just the Sabbath day and that divine rhythm and how it is a revolutionary idea. He talks about the name of YHWH. He talks about the name of Yahweh. I don't care which way you say it. That is not what's important. The important is that we are acknowledging Israel's God and the name that he has set aside for us to use. And I'm also blown away. So I did do this summer, I felt very led to do a series on the weekly Sabbath as well as the holy days. And I started that, I think it was back in July, and it concluded mid-September. I had no idea that Charlie was writing this book. I had heard it in years past. He had mentioned it in some of his interviews. And then came his death. And the thing that I was really heartbroken the most about is that I thought he could have made such an impactful legacy with restoring a love of God's instructions. And that love really begins with keeping the Sabbath, the day that God has given us so that we're not slaves. It's a day of liberation, and it utterly liberates us from bondage and oppression. And I was so heartbroken to think that what could have been his greatest legacy had been missed out on because he didn't get around to publishing his book. Well, thankfully, shortly after his assassination, Turning Point USA did indeed release the fact that it was available for pre-order. Charlie had finished the book. And I am so grateful that he did. But what I am seeing in this is Jehovah's leading, because I just felt led to do the Sabbath series this summer, and without any knowledge or whatever of what Charlie was doing. And he makes points in his book that I made in the Does Jesus Exist book. He brings up about the nature of God and how at one point in time, all of creation worshiped the creation, the elements of nature, rather than the creator. I made that same point in Does Jesus Exist, which was released back in May. And then the fact that he talks about the name of YHWH. I do the same thing in my book. So what I want to show you is that YHWH's Spirit is leading among his people. YHWH's Spirit is out there. It is saying, this is my way, walk in it. YHWH is pointing us to a very specific direction. But we have to listen. We have to respond. God does not force us. Yes, there will be consequences. Yes, there are penalties, but they are self-inflicted because it's a violation of natural law. When we follow that natural law, there's natural blessings. There's natural things that occur. But we have to respond. We can't just take this Laodicean attitude where it's like, oh, somebody else or not for me. But I want to get to something that is even more important. Because today there are many distractions. There are many distractions, many voices that seek to criticize. It's criticizing Charlie's legacy. Because this book is a threat. This book is a threat to political movements and to religious movements. Because when we depart from walking in the way of YHWH, when we ignore his Spirit, when we do our own things and we create our own ways, guess what? We will always be dependent on some man, whether it's a politician, a preacher, a pastor, a political pundit. You're going to listen to them. You're going to follow them. You're going to walk in their ways. That gives them power and control over you. When you say, no, I'm going to follow a moral code that cannot be impinged. I'm going to walk in the way of YHWH. I'm going to follow his written word. I am going to obey. Guess what? That makes you stand upright where people cannot touch you. They cannot manipulate you. They cannot gaslight you. Because you have such meaning in your life. Your life is so full that you can't break that because it's such a part of you. It's a very holistic way of living. And it gives you such amazing joy and happiness and fulfillment in living that rather than all of these people bending to them and their wills, all of these voices that seek to say, oh, walk in this way, or what about this, or let's consider that, or I have this question. Well, fine, questions are fine. But when they question the core ideas, when they question what is actually written and what the prophets quote from, we have a problem because then they're trying to lead you astray. And they're doing it for likes, clicks, power, and money. Again, it doesn't matter the political party. Both the GOP and the Democrats are guilty of this. Conservatives and liberals. It doesn't matter. The religious organizations, Jews and Christians, are all guilty of this. And this is why there are so many voices out there that decry divine law. The way that God says, this is my way, walk in it. It's good for you. It is not too hard for you. It's not beyond the sea that you cannot do it. No one has to go up into heaven and get it for you and bring it to you. But God has set before us life and death. It's easy. You can do it. It's in your heart and in your soul. And if you don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Go look at Deuteronomy 30. Read it for yourself. Start in verse 11. Read all the way through verse 19 of Deuteronomy 30. Because right there, that is your ticket. It's not only your ticket to salvation, it's your ticket to liberty. It is your ticket to life where nobody can manipulate you, nobody can gaslight you, and nobody can take away that truth that is hidden so deeply in your heart that you can't be toppled, that you can't be manipulated, and you can see through the lies and the distractions. So if you haven't, go get this book. Go check it out, read it for yourself, and see if Stop in the Name of God is not Charlie's greatest legacy that will bless many generations to come. So thank you for watching this review. Please like and share your comments below. If you've read Charlie's book, hey, please send me some what you loved about it or the ideas that you had issues with. I would love to hear it and continue this dialogue in the comments below. Thank you so much.